You, in fact, hired Richard to act as your stylist, and you did that between July and August several times.
Yes.
How much did he charge you for those services?
Sometimes he charged me because he was trying to quote a big amount. I said to him, just take it low. Obviously, he charged me £350, 400.
Now, that £350,
Yeah.
did that include the clothes, or was that just for his service?
For everything, both the clothes and the service.
When you get a new client, let's assume it was a bad day and it was very dark, and you ended up having to style me. The question really is, would I have a contract with you?
No, I don't put anything. We just exchange numbers and...
A gentleman's agreement.
Yes, gentleman's agreement.
Now, at first, there was no problem with that gentleman's agreement because between July and August, you paid without any difficulty for Richard's work.
Definitely.
And in fact, it's right to say, because you make it very clear in your application that you were happy
Definitely.
with the various things that he'd suggested that you wear.
Definitely.
Did he do that look for you, the one on the left?
Yes, he did.
And how would one describe that look?
Well, it makes me... You can see the smile there. You can see how excited I am after the event. You can see that me cheering and saying, yes, I've just done it. I've just hosted that event. So...
You felt confident in the clothes?
Confident. I was very confident.
One of the things you're certain about is that Richard is a talented person.
Yes, I'm not going to put that past him. I will tell you this today in this honourable court, that Richard himself, he's fantastic in his work.
But you're always one to see a business opportunity, and bearing in mind Richard's talent...
Yes.
You wanted to, well, why shouldn't you capitalise on his talent?
Well, it's not really capitalising on his talent alone, but it's obviously on my own talent as a multiple award-winning actor.
Right,
Because
so your idea was to introduce him to some of your contacts.
Definitely.
Explain to me what the idea was, please.
OK, when I saw this, I felt that, OK, if he could make me look this way, in this, be confident, and go out there in my movies, in my events, then he could actually do that, have an effect on others as well, and makes himself some money as well.
That's exactly what happened, I'm sure, correct?
No dispute about that at all.
What exactly was the agreement about the commission, please, sir?
He suggested a commission of 20%.
You were about to agree to be introduced to people by Nonso.
Right.
You'd get 80% and he'd keep 20%.
That's right.
In law, what that meant was that he was going to be your agent. He was effectively making money from your talent. Do you see? So what agreement, what written agreement did you have between the two of you? Just to make that clear. Where is that, please, Nonso? You deal in the film industry, you're an actor, and also a producer. Where is the written agreement?
At this point in time, because of the trustworthiness...
We didn't have any written... we didn't put pen to paper, I can tell you.
It was a verbal agreement, and also we sent text messages as well.
I have nothing between the two of you, either in WhatsApp or text messages, which makes clear that the agreement was 20%. However, the two of you agree about it, and I'm prepared to accept that. My concern, sir, and this really goes to you, and a little bit to you, Richard, being a successful person in this business, you know perfectly well the things that can go wrong in the film business. People don't show up. People steal others' ideas. When a film is successful, it's absolutely critical that people know who owns the film.
Yeah.
Correct?
Correct.
You have to have legal confidence. In this situation, it's even more important because he's likely to be introduced to all sorts of people.
Yes.
And you need to be able to keep account of who he's been introduced to.
Yes.
And he needs to know when he owes you that 20%. Was the deal, for example, every time, let's assume you introduced him to a new star.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the name of the new star, so let's call them... Is there Nollywood names? What would Michelle's Nollywood name be?
Sandra.
Sandra. Let's think of Sandra over there. Let's assume you introduce Richard to Sandra.
Yeah.
Was Richard to pay you 20% every time he styled Sandra, or was it just the first occasion? How do I know?
OK. How I know this is because once I introduce him to Sandra, obviously Sandra gives me a call whenever he styles her and say to me, oh, Richard has styled me. I've paid your bloke. I've paid him this amount of money, and I expect to get my 20% from that.
Understood. First time or every time?
Every time.
How do I know?
She tells me.
She might tell you, but what's the legal basis for you being allowed to charge him 20% on every occasion?
Because he's...
So, talking, sir, listen. There's a difference. For example, one of the things he may say to me, he doesn't, by the way, in law, but because he's not here with a lawyer, I have to assist him. He might say, because there's nothing in writing, you may have acted as an agent, but you're only entitled to an introduction fee. Where's the writing?
Because it's all about trust. I trusted him. I trusted him because he's a good stylist. He's someone that I felt that, okay, you know what, Richard, we've had a communication. I've done a business with you.
I think, can I say
this is
something?
business.
Okay.
This is business, Richard.
It's trust.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think the 20%, the ambiguity is in the 20%, like you rightly pointed out. Is it 20% of the first time or the second time or every time or forever?
How many introductions, Nonso, did you give to Richard?
Well, it's countless. We can't, from the ones I've got.
You're suing him.
Yes.
Sir, in due course, you will want to know exactly how much money you're owed so that I can form an assessment if he hasn't paid.
Yes. It's here, my lord.
That's it?
Yes, it's there.
6, 7, 7.
1,
7 people.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
Yeah. 7 minus the first one which he made, the first payment which he made of £80.
Just pause. Sir, that about right? 7 introductions?
Possibly, yes.
Where is your very clear and accurate record?
Yes, I've got it right here.
Goodness me, let me stay where you are. I want to see the clear and accurate record.
Oh, hopefully.
Don't be stupid. Stay and watch the best Judge Rinder moments. And I'm talking. Understood? Don't be a moron. Subscribe to Judge Rinder YouTube channel. Right now. That's an order.